What's up, everybody? It's your boy Steven J, and I'm here with Simply Steve, and we talking about wrestling. WWE, WWF, WCW, WF, ECW, AWA, maybe a little bit of TNA. So let's kick it off. We just ended TLC pay-per-view, which was officially renamed Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs, and I'm going to rename it Totally Lousy, Crappy Show, because that's what I thought about it. Totally Lousy, Crappy Show.
Told you there were some bad matches on there. I told you it wasn't going to be appealing. I told you.
And here we go. This is after Vince McMahon made the statement about stepping up.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you that. Do you think the WWE superstars have been stepping up since he made that statement?
Say hi, everyone. Alright. Time you go to bed?
No.
Alright, you feeling better?
No.
That's good. Alright. So give mommy a kiss from me. Bye-bye. Yeah, so, you would think that the CEO of the company, the boss, the big cheese, president, obviously you're here. Thank you. And she leaves. Huh?
Never mind.
You would think that the president, CEO, Vince Kennedy McMahon, making a statement like he did about only John Cena wants it. That's all it is. I mean, he has the gumption and the umption. He really wants it. So you would think that because that's the case, they would actually go after it.
So my question is, do you think, since Vince made that statement, do you think they've stepped up?
No, I don't.
Besides Ziggler.
The only person that I think has stepped up, who's always stepped up, has been Dolph Ziggler. That's it. That is it.
Not Dean, not Seth.
No.
Not Bray.
No. Since Vince said that, no.
That's Vince's opinion.
No, I don't. And the fact that Vince named all those guys and didn't name Dolph, I kind of got a problem with it. So let's start off with TLC.
Alright, so
the first match off was bump the pre-show. I don't care about New Day. New Day is dumb.
Everybody likes it.
No, you like it.
No.
You said it was like, I've been here painting last night, and I kept hearing, wait, what was that? And I'm like, why are they saying that so much on TV? I come in here, it's him. Nobody in here but him by himself. Wait, what?
I don't know. It's like chanting New Day like that. I don't know.
Get your soda that. Take it in the kitchen. You know, no drinking in here.
Alright, so the first match, which he had a problem with, but the first
match was Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper
for the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match.
First of all, Oh yeah, these are pretty pajamas. I like them. Hello Kitty?
No.
Well, it looks like Hello Kitty.
They're cats.
Okay, let's call it Bye Bye Kitty. All right, bye bye. So Luke Harper comes out. Watch this ride. Watch it. Comes out first match. I do have a problem with that because anybody that's not doing anything is always on the pre-show. You see New Day's on the pre-show. Years ago, months ago, it was Fandango. It was Miz at one point. It was the Usos at one point. I wasn't really feeling it, even though I didn't think the Usos needed to be on there because they had some really good matches at the time. So bump that thing. So the first opening match, nobody ever wants to be the opening card. The only time you want to be, well, not necessarily, nobody wants to be an opening card in the pay-per-view. Why? Since we learned from Stone Cold and CM Punk, you don't get paid as much from being the opening card. You only get paid based on your position in that actual pay-per-view. And that is the main event, or if you're very good mid-card. And I'm trying to think, there was a match between, it was Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat at a WrestleMania. They stole the show. because I forgot who Hulk Hogan faced.
That was WrestleMania 3.
But no.
You said Randy Savage and
Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3.
Oh. Well, they stole the show because it was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. And to this day, everyone will say that Macho Man and Steamboat, they stole the show.
You know what? It was,
which they did. They talked about it so much that I had to go back and watch it. There was another match. Let's forget the other match. So they stole the show. So, but they wouldn't get paid as much as Hogan and Andre got paid because they wasn't the main event. So, and if you're the opener, that says that's your what's the word? That's your position in the company. As far as we're opening up our match, and then it's supposed to get better and gets better and gets better as the night progresses. Dolph Ziggler and Luke Harper had the match of the night on TLC. It was a lot of energy, a lot of up and down, a lot of action, a lot of close calls. It was a good
the first
match.
half of the match.
It was a good match.
Luke dominated the first half of the match, and pretty much, I think after Ziggler got an upset, pretty much it was back and forth after that.
So I said, well, why is Dolph Ziggler first? This doesn't make any sense.
But
hold on. So then I'm like, well, maybe since Vince put the challenge out, if this is the first match, then surely the match after that is gonna top what Ziggler and Harper did. It has to, because they just hyped everyone up. Everybody, again, right now I think that This Is Awesome chant is getting way overused, but rightfully so. For Harper and Ziggler match, This Is Awesome was key on and on point, and they deserved it. Standing ovation and whatever. For those that say wrestling is fake, look at Ziggler's face, look at his back, and all that stuff. Dude was bruised and beat the heck up.
Well, it is fake, but you still can get hurt.
So you would think that following that match, because again, we go back to the Attitude Era, because that's what the Monday Night Wars, that's all they're showing. And the guy stepped up in the back. Triple H said it. He says, when Road Dogg and them was doing their thing, we wanted them apart, but oh man, they were getting good pop themselves, and they saw what we did, and they went and they stepped it up, and we saw what they did, so we had to go out there and try to top them. Everything was a challenge in the back. I don't see that right now. So what was the second match?
All right, so the second match, and before I say what, you would think because it's them that they would step it up, but whatever. It was the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow. Right, the fact that the Usos are the tag team of the year. They did put on some great matches with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan and the Wyatt family,
and even pretty good matches with Goldust.
They had good matches with Gold and Stardust, but the match with the Miz it wasn't that good. It was okay. I gave it like a 5, 6. It wasn't like their past pay-per-view matches.
I gave it a 5 because so much emphasis now is putting on what Mizdow is doing versus the actual match. So, and then again, it's funny sometimes, but after a while, it's gonna play itself out. So they might as well just have those two break up as a tag team as quickly as possible.
Last night, this is the first time that they're having trouble because I think Mizdow was doing his stunt, and Miz got mad and shoved him, and he was like, "What'd I do? I'm just doing what you told me to do." So they might break up soon. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be after. It's gonna be sometime after the Royal Rumble. It's not gonna be before. It'll be sometime after because they are still the tag team champions. Mizdow and Miz won by lost because Miz hit Jimmy Uso with a slammy and got disqualified. All right.
Yeah, so that match for me, I give it a 5.
This match was the most boring match of the night.
More closely to a 4.5, but I gave it a 5 to be nice.
This match was the most boring match of the night, and that was Big Show versus Eric Rowan in a stairs match.
Even if people was like, "This is boring," it was slow. And I'm thinking, okay, stairs, it's a new concept. Let's try to do it right. Big Show was Big Slow. Big Red
was just Big Red.
Was just I don't even got nothing to rhyme with it. He got a big head. Big Red was big boring. Him and Big Show. The match was just, it took way too long.
Let me see how long it was.
It took way too long for that match to the point where
it was 11 minutes.
That felt like 20 minutes. It felt like 20 minutes because I'm like, I got up and went, I don't know what I did. I started painting, I started doing something else because the match was boring. And the fans, think about it.
Watch us lose.
The fans in the previous match with Ziggler, oh man, they was in it. Oh, they was all in it. They was standing up, they was sitting down. Watch your feet, baby.
I just went for so much for you to eat it.
Hmm?
So much trying to cut the bone down, but I did, and I ate. And no Subway Surfers on here.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened to it. I gotta figure it out. Anyway, so when Big Show match started,
Before that.
well, by the time the Big Show matches, the people are like this. It looked like a TNA match. People was having conversation on their phones and stuff like that. Even with the Miz match, the people were like still a little bit rowdy because they expected something to be good. So then you think
Usos.
The stairs match coming, that's different, that's new. Let's see what's gonna happen with it. It was big. It was a stair to nowhere. It sank pretty fast. Very disappointed. I gave that match a 2. 1 for Big Show and 1 for Big Red.
Alright, so the next match I was surprised, but then again not surprised, but it was John Cena versus...
Hold on. I was following WWE on Twitter that night. They made a comment before Ziggler's match, after Ziggler's match, made a comment before the Usos match, after the Usos match. They said zilch about the Big Show and Eric Rowan's match. And I called them on it. I said, no comment about Big Show or Eric Rowan, huh? I see. And all night, I let them know. I said, after the Usos match, I said, not as good as Ziggler's match. And Big Show, I said, not as good as Ziggler's match. Wait, and you don't even comment about it.
Can you put in the
So, what does that tell you?
Alright, so then the mid-match was John Cena versus Seth Rollins in the tables match. I thought it was because, John Cena's going to be a main event, but...
I thought it was going to... I was actually surprised that John Cena and... Seth's match was came out as far as a mid-card match.
I figured because it was John Cena, they'd be somewhere near the end, but it's whatever.
But
the match, it was a little better. It was better than the Big Show's match, better than the Usos match.
The women's match was better than the Big Show match, and I didn't even watch the big women. I think I glanced up at every now and then, whatever, but it was better, and I didn't see it.
So, it was basically like a 3-on-1 match the whole entire time. I mean, if you really want to count Jamie Noble and the other guy, I mean, they used to be former wrestlers, but still.
Okay, and here's the part about this is getting on my nerves. I understand Seth Rollins. I understand the concept. Legacy, evolution, whatever. The 3 guys in this corner, whatever, security, this, that, and the other. But again, that's starting to play old now. And I mean, if you're gonna, and then it's so predictable that they both was gonna fall through the table. Gladly, the referee restarted the match.
Because they both fell through the table. He thought it was going to be a triple threat with Brock.
That would have been more worth seeing than Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Cena, Lesnar, and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match? Yeah, I would love to see that.
You said you didn't want it to be a triple threat when they both fell through. You said, please don't let it be a triple threat.
I said that, but I don't want to see John Cena and Brock. I was hoping Seth won. That's why.
Who was going to face Brock?
Seth.
No, he wasn't. He has Money in the Bank. He doesn't need to face Brock.
Okay, well, he could still face Brock. I mean, who it's been a couple wrestlers that had Money in the Bank and had a title shot before they actually tried to cash it in.
Well, it ended up as a tie. No, Cena put Rollins to the table, but the referee had been knocked out. Then they both fell through the table, so they restarted the match. Big Show came out trying to help out Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns returns, helps Cena win, and knocks out Big Show, and Cena puts Seth Rollins to the table.
Whatever happened to clean pins? Why can't we have clean pins anymore? I mean, if wrestling ain't real, if it's not real, then why do we care? Why do they care about how they lose? I remember back in the day, it was always Hulk Hogan didn't want to lose to this guy. And if he did have to lose, he had to lose because of outside interference. Or he got hit with an object, or they cheated, but he lost. They couldn't just do the job, as they say, on a clean pin to a guy.
Well, he was the face. He was the reason why wrestling was successful. So, I can give it a pass on that.
No, it was the same thing later on in WCW, and it was the same thing in the WWE with Stone Cold. Like the Stone Cold thing. Stone Cold didn't want to lose to...
Actually, you said, and I remember you said Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they didn't want to lose that first, but then they realized, if it was best for business, then...
Who said that? I don't remember saying that. I don't even sound like that.
You said that they did. You said at first they didn't want to do the job over, but then eventually they
What job?
Over, like putting somebody over.
Who did they put over? Because I don't remember saying that.
You did.
I don't remember saying that.
A couple shows ago.
I don't remember saying that.
I think it was before you the Survivor Series.
I don't remember saying that.
You did.
Shawn Michaels didn't want to put hardly nobody over.
Well, I'll give you an example of someone who did want to put somebody over, because they did say this in the Monday Night Wars. It was The Rock. They said that The Rock, if it was best for business or whatever like that, The Rock needed to. If it needed to be done, The Rock would put somebody over, regardless if he was hurt.
Yeah, Rock will do that because The Rock is good, and no matter what The Rock do, whether he loses or he wins, he's still putting the guy over. He's putting them on the map. When Chris Jericho came, he wanted to be insulted with The Rock. When the NWO came to the WWE, they wanted to be insulted by The Rock.
Well, I'm saying some guys did. It took them a while longer, but I'm saying some guys did eventually put, people over. Hardly, but they did.
Anyway, Cena Rollins, I gave it a 6.
I would give it a 6.5 for me.
I gave it a 6 because there was no excitement. There, to me, not really close calls. I would say this. Their next match on Raw, the cage match, was better than their match on TLC.
Well, the other reason why I was kind of interested in the match, even though I still knew it was going to be Cena and Brock, but I was interested to see who was going to face Brock if it wasn't Cena. Because Randy Orton's still gone, so, who's going to face Brock? But it's like the only liable guy right now is Cena. I mean, you want to say Dolph Ziggler, but he just won the Intercontinental Championship. All right, so the next...
Which I thought he was on his way up. That's why they let him lose the IC title. But now that he's back again with the IC title, okay, and I understand still my stuff. It used to be whoever had the title was the champ. Whoever had the IC title was second in line, was a number 2 contender or number 1 contender for the title, and then whatever. They would always have the person with the IC title defend his title, and it will always be a different number 1 contender, but technically in the power rankings, the IC title champion was always the number 1 contender.
You mean second best?
Number 1 contender.
Alright, so then we had Nikki versus AJ. She won. She sprayed something in her eyes or whatever like that. She didn't win.
Hairspray.
Oh, hairspray.
Which apparently she's injured for that.
So then we had Ryback versus...
CM Punk must be mad.
We had Ryback versus Kane. And in a chairs match, again, it was okay. It wasn't really exciting. I knew Ryback was going to win, but let me tell you the part that was kind of made me upset a little bit. Ryback was going for meat hook clothesline, and he was running to him, and Kane threw the chair literally in his face, and it bounced off his face, and Kane hit the chokeslam. I thought the match should have ended right there. To me, that would have been the perfect ending. They show that, even though Kane hasn't won in a long time, he should give him some big wins, like over guys like Ryback, instead of letting him beat up guys like Adam Rose. Just saying.
To me, again, this match was slow. It wasn't as slow as Big Show and Big Red, but to me, it was slow. You had an opportunity in a chairs match to really make this be something special. Beating each other down with a chair, whatever. How Kane had been beating Ryback down. And I'm just standing there going back and forth with it or whatever. They didn't do that, so the match was crappy. I got my $9.95 worth.
Alright, so then we had Rusev beat Jack Swagger. And man, that match was funny because Swagger got put in the accolade, and immediately I thought, alright, he passed out, it's over. I just started laughing. But then he got out of it, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna have him win. And Rusev was kind of already hurt because whatever, he was like limping, whatever. But again, Swagger, he put him in the accolade again, and he passed out.
What the heck?
That's just funny.
What the heck? I don't even understand this. You need somebody to face, so let's bring Jack Swagger back again to get knocked out again. And again, stupid. It was just a waste of time. I gave it a 3 because it just didn't make sense.
I gave it 5 just because it was funny, just because he put him in the accolade and he just passed out. So, all right. So then we had the main event: Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose in a TLC match. That match was again okay. Dean put Bray through a couple tables, but he was gonna hit him with a TV, but it exploded or something like that.
Dumbest ending ever, and I tweeted it. And I got favored a couple times. Hold on.
I'm confused of how that was the dumbest thing. I just need you to clarify.
I'll clarify. Dean is looking at the TV at himself. So everyone's like, yeah, Dean's about to do something dumb. He's about to do something crazy. He's about to do something cool with the TV. Because he's looking at it on TV and he can see himself looking at himself on the TV, looking at himself. And so everyone's expecting him to do something. So Wyatt's down in the ring. He gets up with the TV. There's the cord. All of a sudden it explodes. Oh, he's blinded now. Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, it's over. What? He lost because the TV exploded in his face. He didn't lose because Harper and Rowan came down. He didn't lose because Wyatt cheated. He lost because the TV exploded, which technically, here's his face here. The TV exploded right here. And he's like, oh my God, he's blinded. He's blinded. Sister Abigail, stupid ending. Here's my problem. That was just a stupid ending. Why would you end the match that way? Why would you, again, can we get a clean pin? Again, without some type of reason why, well, he only beat me because the TV exploded. The match for me was way too long. It's like they were searching for something to get the crowd back into it because they've been sleeping through the whole night since Ziggler. When Dean went and got the real tall ladder, that was like the highlight of that match. When he jumped on, climbed up and jumped down on Bray. Highlight of the match. And obviously they both was injured because they wasn't on Raw the next day. So that was like cool. But it was just taking too long for them. Like they were trying to figure out, let me do this. Well, I'm gonna do this. Well, let me do this. No, it was just taking way too long to get excited. Look at the previous TLC throughout the years. Let's start with the granddaddy of them all. That started it off. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. Excellent match. Will always be referred to when it comes to table, ladder, and chair.
That was the ladder match.
Well, ladder match, same thing. So it started TLC.
Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
So let's look at other facts. The Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. The Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. Those guys, great match in a ladder match or TLC match. Rob Van Dam, again, bunch of action. This is like we're reaching for something. It's kind of like the Hell in a Cell match. We need somebody to fall through it or jump off of it just to say this is what happened because Undertaker did it first. And you're grasping at straws, trying to recreate something that no one expected didn't happen when that happened, but now you're trying to recreate it every time. And for me, the majority of the matches, they were trying to create something. But to me, I felt that it wasn't I did not feel as though that it was what do you call it? I didn't feel as though that it was a main event match. I felt it could have been a high mid card or the next to the main event, but I gave the match a 7.5 for the simple fact of the high ladder. Other than that, I wasn't very excited about the match. Like, oh my god. Like the Dolph Ziggler match had me like, oh man, I thought he had him that time. Had me with it. That was just, I'll give it just one thumb down. So you should have called it the DZ match, the Dolph Ziggler pay-per-view, because that's who only showed up. And again, since Vince made that comment, step it up like John Cena, when you're face of the company, didn't even step it up. So then you go into the next night.
Hold on, I would just like to point out that you know how you always say you can't believe John Cena and whatever he does?
Right.
I would like to point out that John Cena makes it way too obvious when Seth Rollins going for the curb stomp. I would just like to say that. It's getting on my nerves. Like, Seth Rollins going for the curb stomp. Before he even gets to his head, John Cena jumps up in the air on his knees. Like, literally. I was like, it's not like he even gets an opportunity to step on his head. Like, he literally jumps up for him to do it. Everyone else is just on their knees, but he jumps up. I'm just like, what? I don't know, maybe because he don't want to re-injure his neck again or something. I don't know.
That's your favorite wrestler.
No, it's not. That's Eli's favorite wrestler.
You still like, is John Cena still your favorite wrestler?
Yes, ask me that.
Alright, so we move on to Monday Night Raw. Again, as
they took way too long. Turn that light back on. They took way too long, and I'm getting tired of this with Raw. It used to be, give me 5 minutes, 10 at the most, something interesting to start off Raw, especially after a pay-per-view. That's what you're thinking. God, they took about almost 30 minutes, 20 minutes with the Paul Heyman, Jericho, Seth Rollins, and then John Cena coming down there. Oh my God, that was just way too dumb, long, and boring. And the people wasn't in it because, again, I'm like, okay, next.
It didn't begin because, you know, it's Y2J, we haven't seen him in a while.
No, I ain't talking about his entrance coming out. That's fine. But I'm talking about the shenanigans that happened in the ring.
That's been going on for a couple weeks.
No, that's what I did. If you heard what I just said, I said I'm getting tired of that.
No, I'm saying it's been happening for the past couple weeks that the opening segment has been too long. That's what I'm saying.
Huge six-man tag team action. Eric Rowan and the Usos.
So I said I was sick and tired of that. So
Miz and Mizdow. That's next on SmackDown.
Again, and we still with the Survivor Series concept of matches. Six-man tag team matches, 8-man tag team matches. Yo, I'm tagged out after Survivor Series is over. I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to see it no more. When you had the Shield and you had the White family, that's all we wanted. That's it. When those two clashed, we was like, yes, give us that, give us that.
Well, we got some new tag teams. New tag team coming.
Who?
The Ascension from NXT.
How do you know they're coming?
Their promo's been going on for a couple of weeks.
I haven't seen any promos on Raw.
I seen it was on last night.
The Ascension, I watched NXT, and I'm gonna make sure I talk about it. So go to the next match on Raw. First match on Raw.
Alright, so the first match on Raw was Dolph Ziggler and Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper and the Big Show.
He was first again.
So, I don't want to call this the match of the night because Ziggler was basically getting beat down. You know, I don't blame him because, you know, he had a hard match last night, whatever like that, but he's basically getting beat down the whole match. Tags in Rowan. Rowan gets knocked out, and that's basically it. That's what happens for the first match of the night.
And again, I feel like it's disrespectful to Dolph Ziggler for the simple fact that he was first last night opening card. He's opening card again on Raw. And again, not one-on-one, but another dumb tag team match. And again, how many times must I say I am getting sick and tired of the same old thing? It's just way too much.
Well, you're getting sick and tired of this because we had another tag team match. After that, we had Bella Twin versus Alicia Fox and Natalia. Alicia Fox and Natalia won. Again, Tyson Kidd out there with his wife. Just, you know, I guess still in the spotlight or whatever like that.
What?
I said Tyson Kidd was out there with his wife when her and Alicia Fox were wrestling the Bella Twins in a tag team match. So Tyson Kidd was out there to, you know, steal the spotlight or whatever from his wife. Talking to a Bella Twin too, whatever.
That's because Tyson Kidd sucks. I feel sorry for him. I think he's...
That's why he's called Natty's. That's why he's called Natty's husband.
I thought... What was his tag team name when he was with the British Bulldog son?
The Hart Dynasty.
Hart Dynasty. I thought when they came, they were pretty good. Did they win the titles?
Yes, they won the Unified Tag Team Championships.
I don't quite think that they utilized them correctly. And then because instantly they turned into heels, which really didn't make any sense whatsoever. So again, the whole angle, Natty's wife, I'm jealous of my wife, and obviously they're gonna do something between him and the Bella or whatever, which is gonna break up the man's marriage. I'm sorry, don't do that. Because you know darn well, marriages in wrestling do not last long. It's a historic fact. They just don't last long. So you're gonna have him start messing with another woman.
Would it count if you're saying Stephanie and Triple H, or is that an exception?
What?
You said marriages in wrestling don't last long. And I'm thinking, well, what about Stephanie and Triple H?
Stephanie stole him from China. So Triple H was with someone already.
Oh yeah.
And Stephanie stole him from her.
That's right. But they got put into segments together, and you know they started. They started feeling stuff for each other.
Well, again, still he was with China. So here's again, if they're gonna start putting Tyson with what's the name? What's gonna happen? Same thing happened with Macho and Elizabeth. Same thing happened with what's her name? Lita, and whoever she was dating with at the time.
Yeah.
So
that was real. Oh man. Her and Lita really did go out, and you know, Matt Hardy was like, I wanted to kill him. But let's see here. All right, next we had the highlight reel with Rusev and Lana. Basically, it was just for Jericho to mess with them, make fun of them, whatever. But then a feud started. A feud has now been started between Ryback and Rusev.
Which I like to say I called and pinpointed a few weeks ago. I said, since you're not going to sign Kurt Angle,
which is obvious because he's back to TNA.
Have you watched TNA?
No, I'm saying no. I saw it.
Which, since they didn't sign Kurt Angle, then Ryback was the next logical choice to possibly win his first title, I might add, and go up against Rusev and give him his first loss. They match up. They look, from the looks of it, they look good together as far as being able to match up. Ryback's not that fast, but neither is Rusev. So we'll see when they have their first match, which will probably be at Royal Rumble.
All right, so then we had the versus Golden Stardust. I wasn't really paying attention, but the match was okay. Big E was getting beat up the whole time. Apparently, Big E got a swiping problem. But
Big E got what?
Big E got a swiping problem. I don't know. They ended up winning with their move where Big E has the big ending and someone jumps the top rope, which is they call it the Midnight Hour or something like that. But they won. Alright, so then we had Adam Rose versus Kane. Apparently now I guess maybe he and the Bunny are tight again or something like that because they didn't fight this week. King came out and beat up Adam Rose.
I love the only part that was funny was that when he tombstoned the Bunny, everybody jumped on their feet, was like, yes, do it because we're tired of the Bunny. Please.
They voted him Animal of the Year.
We were tired of the Bunny. That was a stupid category anyway.
It really was. All right. So then Jericho had challenged Paul Heyman to a match, the WWE Universe for a street fight. Brock Lesnar came back. The Beast incarnate has
So
returned.
Bigfoot is back. So we ain't got to send the crew of finding Bigfoot at. He showed up last night on Raw. And he beat
up
Jericho, beat up John Cena. But here's the thing. After he showed up, I was like, okay, we ain't going to see him again until the Royal Rumble.
You know, that's what I thought, but I don't know. I was like, all right, now it looks like he got mad for last time.
But it wasn't like...
It come every week.
It wasn't like the excitement when he first came back.
No, it wasn't the excitement.
It's like, oh, he's back? Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, he's the champ. He has a title.
When he came out, he had no belt. I was like, what, he left it at home?
My thing was, oh, okay, Brock's back. Whatever.
Well, let me just go put it on the table right now. Royal Rumble comes around.
We ain't got no table. There's a table right here.
Well,
There's a table right there. We have a counter over there. What table?
It's just an expression. Anyway.
So let us put it on the table as an expression?
No. You're confusing me. Let me just put it out there. I know it's too early, but I just want to ask you a prediction of who you think's going to win, Brock or Cena.
I don't even care because I don't want to see it. You know dumb Cena is going to win. The question is, Royal Rumble is always a setup for WrestleMania. So you know dumb Cena's going to win to get the whole Ric Flair thing or whatever. You know that. Again, Vince, listen to the fan. We're tired of Cena. We are tired of John Cena. Again, I give John Cena 1,000% credit as being 400 Make-A-Wish things he's done. Great. He's the greatest there was, best there is, was, ever will be when it comes to that. Wrestler, he is not. Entertainer, he is not. So again, am I excited about John Cena and Brock at Royal Rumble? No, because I don't care. If they throw a mix in there, like throwing Seth Rollins in there in a triple threat, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. If they throw Randy Orton in there, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I think Randy Orton versus Brock, seeing as though that they only face each other one time in their whole entire career, would be more interesting and more appealing than John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Again, if John Cena... And here's another thing that was so ironic last night when he came out in the beginning. He told, "Stop whining, you talk about this," and I'm like, "Didn't it for several weeks after you lost you didn't win the title from Brock? You could, I had to beat. You were whining, dude. You were whining."
Seth Rollins been whining every week.
Okay.
Since the Authority lost.
The pot can't call the kettle black if you're doing the same thing that he's been doing. And so here's the thing. If you want some type of hype about Brock Lesnar, to try to build this match, you should have been calling Brock out. Like the same way Stone Cold did Bret Hart when he was the ringmaster. And Bret was like months for coming back. And Stone Cold brought up his name. And everybody was like, "Bret ain't here. What are you talking about, dude?" And he came out and he mentioned Bret Hart again. And they kept on mentioning Bret Hart. So finally Bret came back. And then it was like, "Oh yeah, I want to see this match. Even though Bret wasn't there, Stone Cold made it hype because he kept calling out and everyone knew that Bret wasn't there. And no one, I don't even know if he was hurt. I don't think he just had a contract and he was hoping to re-sign or whatever. But once he re-signed, it was great. So here you got Brock Lesnar that's out. John Cena could have been calling him out from day one. Where's Brock this? He's a punk. He's whatever. He's a paper champion. Whatever. Calling him out and this, that, and the other. He didn't do that. Oh, now all of a sudden, we got a feud. So next week, we're going to, the whole feud between John and Seth is over. Or so we see, because Brock and Seth shook hands afterwards at Monday Night went off.
You figure Brock? I was gonna be.
I guess he's Plan B is back.
Because it's weird because I thought Brock was gonna attack just like everyone else thought he was gonna attack Seth Rollins. Because Paul Heyman every time he gets in the ring talks about Brock hasn't forgotten about when he curb stomped him and tried to take his belt away.
I thought he was too. Very disappointed that he didn't. Back door is unlocking bias.
What has been back there? Alright. So after Brock beat up Jericho, Fandango came out to say something, but Roman Reigns came out and spared him.
Yeah, who cares about Fandango? Let him go. Peace out. Release him.
Alright, so then we had the Miz versus Jimmy Uso. Again, tension building between Miz and Mizdow, but a little bit of tension. But Jimmy Uso won.
The match was okay.
This whole thing about Miz trying to get Naomi video or contract or whatever, or something like that. I don't understand it really. I guess it's just to distract the Uso or whatever, but you know, whatever. Then of course we had Seth Rollins versus John Cena. I'm about to say that was the match of the night, because you know Ziggler was getting beat down his whole match, so I'm gonna have to call it that.
Yeah, I will give it a match. It was the match of the night. It's the best match so far. But it was a couple times that was just stupid. You got a chance to get out the ring, walk out the ring. John Cena's knocked out Seth Rollins. Yeah. I want to try to go for the curb stomp now, dude. And then you decide when John Cena starts moving, oh, I'm going to climb out. The door's right here. You're going to climb out right next to the door? That just doesn't make any sense. But again, it was, for me, it was the match of the night. Even better when Brock came out and intervened into the match. Be interesting to see where they go. Again, but I think Seth Rollins is going to play the role of Plan B, which I also think that he's going to turn on Brock at the Royal Rumble and cash in his Money in the Bank. That's what I think.
You're saying that he would have to cash it on Cena. You're predicting that Cena's going to win.
Well, if Cena wins or Brock wins, I don't know. You know Cena's going to win because obviously that's Vince's son.
Whoa.
Based on all the stuff he said about him, please. All the stuff that Vince said about Stone Cold years ago, oh, he's the greatest ever, is he's saying about John Cena. And the bad thing is that that's all he can see. And I'm gonna prove it to you. I watched the Monday Night Wars on WWE Network for $9.99. And I watched a segment called Building an Army. And here's the thing that's very ironic. The very thing in that episode that they blasted WCW for doing, as far as when it came to the NWO, because they were saying it was NWO this, NWO that, they wasn't building any talent, and they talked about how Vince lost Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, lost Bret Hart, lost Macho Man, lost Perfect, lost Rick Rude, basically, and all the other guys that were started doing it. And they had to basically start from scratch with Stone Cold, with The Rock. DX was a rebranding, and other guys. So they had to build up their roster and stuff like that. And whereas WCW was just focusing solely on the NWO, and that's all they were focusing on. They wasn't focusing on anything else. Well, it's ironic that you're blasting what WCW did, but yet you're doing the same thing with John Cena. That all you're doing is just basically showcasing John Cena. If Daniel Bryan didn't catch on, and I call that his momentum. There's certain guys that you can create, and they come in and make an impact. That's what you're doing. Hulkamania was Vince McMahon's doing. Shawn Michaels was Vince McMahon's doing. Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Razor Ramon, that was Vince McMahon's doing. But what Daniel Bryan did, all Daniel Bryan. What Stone Cold did, all Stone Cold. What The Rock did, all The Rock. What DX did, all DX. What Dolph Ziggler's doing now, all DZ. What's the other guy? Ryder did was all him. So guys that could take something and they click, oh, let's run with what I just did now. They created that, not the story, the writers or whatever, something like that. So they're focusing solely on John Cena this, John Cena that, And that's the irritating point because you're not focusing on guys like Ziggler. You're not focusing on Cesaro. You're not focusing on Bray Wyatt. You're not focusing on guys that's going to really give you something. This is why they need to bring the brands back. They said they were going to focus more on storylines because SmackDown has become just the lesser version of Raw, basically repeating the same matches that they did on Monday night. Who wants to see that? Bring the brands back because it showcased it. Those are the guys that we had to see, and that's the one thing that they said.
The brands back.
WC, hold on. When WCW came up with Thunder, none of the top guys wanted the show go on Thunder because it was like we don't want to be on that show. We're on Nitro, this and the other. So Booker T, watch your feet, baby. Booker T decided to do it, and that's how he got in a limelight because he decided, hey, I'm gonna take a chance and I'm gonna make something of it. The Luchadors got discovered because of Thunder. So all those guys got discovered because it was a different brand and it wasn't showcasing just the NWO. Same thing with SmackDown when they went to the different brands. It started off as a different show or whatever, different storyline.
That totally outruled Thunder completely. They said,
yeah. Thunder,
when it first came out, that's because everybody was on there. Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Taker, they was all on SmackDown.
Yeah, they was all on SmackDown. SmackDown in the beginning was pretty good because it was fresh and it was new. But once they went to the brands, again, I don't know how many times I gotta say it, I would never know who CM Punk is technically if it wasn't for the brand. I would never know who Dolph Ziggler is if it wasn't for the brand. Matter of fact, when Dolph Ziggler first came out, I believe his first match was against The Undertaker. That was a great match. And Dolph Ziggler, was it Dolph Ziggler? No, it was Dolph Ziggler, but was it The Undertaker? I think it was The Undertaker. That's how I was like, wow, this cat is good. They went with a storyline with that.
I don't remember Taker and Ziggler.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Look it up. It was actually a good match. Who else? Alberto Del Rio. Never would have known who he is. Daniel Bryan. I won't say Daniel Bryan because he came whatever with Nexus and stuff like that. But those guys like that.
Well, first of all, you got to think of this. You keep saying you want to bring the two brands back. Well, if you know to bring the two brands back, they have to split up the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Do it.
They got to separate it again.
Do it.
And I don't know if they will.
Do it.
Because you're like, oh, they're trying to do what they did back in Attitude Era and only have one brand with one title.
It's not working. What they're doing now is not working. Because all your branding is John Cena. All your branding is John Cena. And again, how many times people got to say, it's that same background every 3 seconds. There's John Cena again. Oh, John Cena. Oh, John Cena. It's like a record that people keep singing all the time. Yo, it's played out by now. It's played out.
Well, let's see here. I guess. I've always wished for the brands back, but and especially the split of the titles.
And what else? So,
but
I did get a chance to watch NXT Revolution. Yo. First of all, I got
NXT champion.
I got a question. Are there no more American wrestlers? Because Sami Zayn is from somewhere overseas. Adrian Neville is somewhere overseas. I think Kevin Owen. Yo, Kevin Owen, boy. This dude flipped out of the ring. I can't remember who he fought, and I don't even care, but the man impressed me with his in-ring debut on NXT last week. I was very impressed with his match. I do like Ric Flair's daughter. I think she's pretty cool. The match between Neville and Zayn, that was a good match, and I like Sami Zayn. I think they're ready to come up now, if you ask me.
I think we'll see Adrian Neville probably in the Royal Rumble.
Prince Pretty. I don't know about him yet. The Insurrection. What are they called? The tag team.
The Ascension.
The Ascension. I like those guys.
They'll be here soon.
They're pretty good, and I even like the Lucha Dragons. They're pretty decent. I still say NXT is the second best wrestling show out there. I finally got a chance to rewatch Lucha Underground, as I told y'all I was, and it was okay.
A lot of WB guys over there. John Morrison was over there.
It was pretty good.
Big Zeke was over there. Ezekiel Jackson was over there. Damn.
Beth Page is on there. Beth Phoenix is on there.
You sure? Because I didn't recognize it.
They said Beth Phoenix. She was Sexy Star.
No. She would. Nah. I don't know.
Yeah, he said. Stryker said Beth Phoenix, Sexy Star, is gonna team up with the Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, well, why is Edge's wife in there? So anyway, but I rewatched it.
Beth Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So the match was pretty. What I saw was pretty decent. The action was okay. It's a little bit. They made a lot of mistakes, but even still, give them something. They kind of Lucha Underground reminds me of ECW, not because the location looks like the ballroom that the ECW was in, even though it kind of does. It's dungy or whatever like that, but it kind of reminds me of ECW. So I would say, I don't know how long Lucha Underground has been out there, but if you give it a couple years, I guarantee you that it'll be better. It definitely, I liked it better than TNA already. But it'll be the second best thing behind WWE that's out there. So,
well, I guess you can say this. The only road ready for the WWE superstars, I guess, in Vince's way and in your way to step it up would be if they have competition. And they have no competition, so they have no reason to try.
Leaving.
So they're like, oh, who cares if I do this or that? Because ain't nobody here to take our jobs. Ain't no WCW.
and then they need to create a brand within a brand, like the NWO. Matter of fact, I would probably recreate the NWO. We're the new NWO, the new World Order, or whatever. Come up with some type of different faction. Again, I tweeted Triple H and Vince McMahon, and I said, you called out Cesaro. Why don't you use that as a storyline? That since Cesaro doesn't have it, let him come out and basically badmouth John Cena because he's trying to get it. Let him beat down everyone because I'm trying to get it. Since I don't got it, I'm trying to get it. And use that in the storyline or whatever. I think it would possibly go well because again, you took the man from his high, from he was the king of swing, to teaming up with Paul Heyman and then teaming up with nobody and just lost all his flavor. So again, you ruined that.
I'm sorry, there's only two real Paul Heyman guys, and that's Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. At least what I've seen. I mean, obviously there are more guys, but I think the best out of all of them, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar. They're the only true Paul Heyman guys.
Those are the only two. So
also, I read a couple of weeks ago, I think I was going to say last week, but I forgot. It has been confirmed that Taker will be at WrestleMania 31, so it looks like you're going to have to find something to do during that match.
What? Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I saw it on
Bleach Report.
It was a couple weeks ago, so it's not on. Oh, it's not on. I don't see it on my app.
Did you see it on Bleach Report?
I saw it on Bleacher Report.
So I didn't see it on Bleacher Report.
I did.
Again, he may make an appearance, but I mean, because now they got this new thing about the foundation because Undertaker stayed with WWE and Sting stayed with WCW, and they were the two dark forces and the anchors in the company and stuff like that.
Well,
whatever.
So you're saying if Taker went over to WCW, would that have been it?
Well, first of all, Taker was never going to do that because Taker had the streak going for him. So
the streak didn't matter yet. The streak didn't happen until he got 10 wins.
No, but still, he was still undefeated.
I think if he went over there, there would have been no streak.
They didn't have a WrestleMania. Their big thing was Starrcade, which was in November.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I still think they need to bring back War Games because War Games was pretty good, which is kind of like Survivor Series, but they had 2 rings though. So.
But yeah, it's like it said that he would be there. I think it said he would be wrestling. So
I can say the same thing as I said before. I don't know. I don't think so.
So it's like hope he finds something to do while that match is going on between him and Sting. Because as
I don't want to see Taker. He's old, man.
Well,
he's old.
Well, we're gonna see Sting versus Triple H first at the Royal Rumble. So we'll likely see Sting again in the next couple of weeks. We'll see Triple H come back. Then we'll see Sting and Taker.
And it looks like we have no GM because I'm glad they got rid of the anonymous Raw GM. That was just stupid, and I'm glad it's gone.
I don't know. I swore I thought they said Hogan, but I'm not sure who's running Raw next week.
The GM has to be a bad guy, because I mean it has to be a bad guy.
We just had a bad guy.
They've always had bad guys. The GM always is a bad guy.
Tay Long, Booker T. They were good guys. I guess they would be on to exceptions, but they were good.
Booker T got hurt and had surgery and found out, was like, we don't need you, Book.
Because Teddy took over.
You dig that?
Teddy took over.
Alright.
I still think that's just in my opinion. Because I don't remember Paul Heyman's days as general manager. And I definitely don't remember William Regal running Raw or SmackDown. I don't remember Kurt Angle running Raw or SmackDown either, but to me, it's just in my interest, Tay Long.
You still need a guy that's gonna basically come back and go back and forth. So,
well, if you need two brands, then that means
I put like
two
this.
GMs.
Why don't you just bring Vince, let him run it, or create somebody or whatever that's gonna run it. Alex Riley or whatever.
I guess he retired from wrestling now because all he does is pre-shows, and that's it.
So that's about it. We're done talking about wrestling today. Next is Royal Rumble, which is not going to be till January 25th. So we got about a month.
We got 6 weeks
before that, and as of right now, there's no hype to it whatsoever. I think
Roman
Bray
Reigns
Wyatt
is the only one who's been entered the Royal Rumble so far, and if they go with it, then he'll most likely win the Royal Rumble. And
make him look strong.
And as you say,
make him look strong.
And as you say, if Johnson is gonna win, then there's our main event right there. Something I'm asking everyone with this.
So next Tuesday we're gonna be coming to you from here. I'm gonna have my mother down here.
She's
so
gonna be on here.
I'm gonna put her on the show, so she can say hi to everybody. All right. So Stephen J. and Simply Steve and we're done talking about wrestling. Peace.